G'day, welcome guys to my new video on how to install Windows 8 using Oracle VirtualBox and stuff. Anyway, obviously I'm going to show you how to do it. First thing you're going to need to do is download VirtualBox from the Oracle website. Link will be in the description, but it's pretty much that. As you can see at the top of my Opera display. By the way, Opera is a really good browser if you need a good one, although some things it doesn't do properly, but all browsers do something sillily, except Internet Explorer, but it's really slow. Anyway, VirtualBox for Windows hosts is what I'd normally download using this button, but I don't need it because I just downloaded it. I've already tried doing this video once and it didn't work a few times. Well, it sort of worked, but it sucked. Anyway, if you're on Linux, you'd click on that. If you're on Solaris, which I think is a form of Linux, you go to that one, and that one for OS X, which is Mac. Anyway, that's pretty much it as far as that goes. So this one for any Windows users, that'll be right. Once that downloads, that might take 3 minutes to download. You need to download the ISO image of Windows 8 from here. This website. Oops. It'll say something like that at the top, and this will be in the description as well. And an ISO file basically is a CD image, but you'd be downloading it from the internet, not onto a CD, but to do other stuff with. Obviously, you're going to download a version here corresponding to your system. And I would normally download 64-bit because I have a 64-bit machine because I'm awesome like that, which is about 3.3 gig, so I'd click on the download button here. But in a lot of people these days have 32-bit systems, which is also known as x86, which is 2.5 gigabyte download, so it's a bit smaller, which you'd click download here if you're going to download that. That's pretty simple. If you don't know what sort of machine you've got, you need to find out by going to Control Panel, going to something that says something about System and Security, like mine does, and click on System. Then scroll down a little bit and it'll come to something called System Type, or something along those lines. Not sure for all types of systems, and it'll say 64-bit operating system or 32-bit operating system. And if it says unknown, it's probably 32-bit. Anyway, that's an easy way to do it. Otherwise, you just type system here, like this. And when it comes up, you go into that one there. That's if you're on Windows 7. Oops, I didn't mean to open Russian. Anyway, the other thing you'll need is to keep this website up. Don't close it, because you'll need this product key later in life. Anyway, excuse me for a second. Sorry about that. My brother's being annoying, as usual. Anyway, next thing you're going to do is open VirtualBox. Which, to do that, you obviously just double click once it's installed. And what we'll do is create a new system thing here. Call it what you will, and it'll come up with this basically. Now you'll type the name of the virtual machine, and in this case I'm going to call it Windows 8 64-bit. I don't know. There you go. Windows 8 64-bit. Release or pre-release or whatever. Call it whatever you will. It doesn't matter. And you've got two options. You want to install Windows 8 or Windows 8 64-bit. Obviously, 64-bit is if you downloaded the 64-bit system and have a 64-bit machine. Pretty simple, yeah? Anyway. And you click on Next. This you want to dedicate an amount of RAM towards the virtual machine. Now they recommend for 64-bit you put in 2 GB, but I don't quite have 2 GB spare because Windows 7 takes up about that much. So I put 2000 meg. Of course, it said recommended base memory size is about that, but doesn't have to be that big. It could be 1 gigabyte, especially if you're using 32-bit system. It doesn't, if you, I'm not going to go there. 32-bit system doesn't require as much RAM or space. I was going to say something important, but I can't even remember now. Anyway, now it'll ask you to create a virtual disk image, which basically means stuff. It'll be where everything is stored for this virtual operating system. And you want to click on the top one, leave it as it is, dynamically allocated, which basically means it'll grab space from your physical hard disk rather than the virtual one when it needs it. Fixed size would be a bit annoying, especially when you fill up. And we'll use about 30 gigabyte of space for this. I recommend 30 gig. It doesn't have to be that big, but doesn't matter. Oh, I remember the other important piece of information. Don't try this if you only have, if you're using Windows 7 and only have 2 gigabyte of RAM. Same goes for Windows Vista, because any less than 2 gig of RAM anyway, because you need extra RAM. It will use, like Windows 7 will use all the RAM it needs, and then Windows 8 will use anything that's left over. So you can't use both Windows 7 and Windows 8 if you are left with pretty much no RAM anyway. You would probably understand this if you know what you're doing, but some people don't, sorry to say. Anyway, just click create and give it a few seconds and it'll think about it. Okie dokie, it's created. Crikey, mate, this might take a while. Sorry, I was reading funny fan fiction. And then you click on what you want it, what sort of installation media. So basically what sort of image you want it to run on. And I'm going to use Windows 8. I had Ubuntu there, and VirtualBox Guest Editions is something else entirely. Not exactly sure, I never tried to run it. Anyway, Windows 8 release preview. You can do the same steps go for Ubuntu. I might show you how to do that another day. Anyway, it'll give you this summary. You don't have to worry about that too much. And it will, I've never seen this screen before, but anyway, it'll start the virtual machine. And okay, don't worry too much about that. And make the screen full screen if you want. Go switch. Oh, I don't know what I just did. There we go. Made it full screen. I don't think I've been able to do that successfully before. Anyway, this is possibly going to take a little while to start up because it's Windows. Yep, that's pretty much what Windows is like. Takes a while to start up. That's why I actually quite like Ubuntu, but I don't want to use it as my native OS just because of limited stuff. Like, without Wine you can only run a few thousand applications. Yeah, I know that sounds greedy, but Windows is very handy in that regard. Also, there's not many Ubuntu games. I'm not a massive gamer other than Minecraft and possibly Star Wars games and a couple of RTS games, but doesn't matter. I still like the flexibility of Windows because Windows is awesome. Well, did I just say Windows is awesome? I'm quite silly. Anyway, you can skip this bit. I'll put a link in the time to skip to if you want to skip all this waiting bit and me rabbling on about how stupid I am. Okay, don't worry about that too much. And it's a little bit laggy. Yes, this is Windows 8, not just that my computer's laggy, although you'll find that the video is a tiny bit laggy. Okay, so language is always going to be English in the United States. For me, you want the time and currency format to be English Australia. Assuming you're living in Australia, I am assuming that most people on YouTube don't. And US keyboard input method is pretty much worldwide. And then you just click install now. And hopefully this works properly. It worked for me last time, as you may have seen in my last video. But a few people have complained about getting a picture of a fish, which I don't quite understand, and the fish looks dead. Anyway, I'm not going to ask about that. Okie dokie, this is where we need the product key. Excellent, I'm in full screen mode. What do I do? Press that button. Oh, it's not open. I have a special app called Deskwin, which is kind of handy. What am I going to do? Okie dokie, that did it. I had to just press that. Okay, so we're going to... let's see what we can do. My computer's running a bit slow thanks to recording. We're going to... Oh, I didn't want to do that. Silly me. This might take a while. Okay, you can't copy and paste across, so I'm going to have to memorize this, or I'm going to... You can't... Why can't I? Minimize, maximize. Ah, it's silly. So TK8TP. You watch, I'm going to type this wrong, aren't I? TK8TP, and dashes will be added automatically, as it says. Oh, you're not serious. Oh, that makes it... What did I do? Oh, there we go. Okay, that makes it easier. You can't, as I said, you can't copy and paste across, otherwise that'd be way too easy. 9J N6P. Yeah, I'm not used to this. 7X7W RFF TV B7QPF. And we'll remaximize that. Hit next. And hope to God that this worked properly. You gotta find yourself a working product key. That one happens to work. There's a few out there that are a bit dodgy. Okay, now you want to go the bottom one, because the top one would be upgrading from your current Windows, and there's nothing installed there. So you need to hit the bottom one. And then you just hit next. It'll be right. Oops. Bump my headset lead, and that's probably... Oh no, it's just... mouse is frozen. It's all good, guys. Mouse is just frozen. Now, this bit could potentially take a while. I left it for about 10 minutes and it was right. So I might clip the recording hereabouts and see you guys all when it's done. Okay guys, I'm back once I start this, and it's getting the system ready. This could possibly take a minute or two. Restarting my PC. Handy, I suppose. As we go, I haven't got much time left unless I can do the longer than 15 minutes thing tonight, which I should be able to do, hopefully, if I can borrow my brother's phone. P.S. guys, I don't have a phone. Yeah, how cool's that? Okie dokie. Yeah, I don't have a phone. My brother has a phone and he's smaller than me. He's only 12 and I'm 15 and I don't have a phone. Yeah, I got no social life. So what? I'll live, I suppose. I haven't needed one for this long. My computer gets me by fine. I mean, the school gave us iPads and I used that a lot. I have a laptop which I got for helping with sewing a couple of years ago, and I didn't actually do that much work for it. Don't tell my dad, but I didn't. Although he seems to think I did. Maybe I did more than I thought. Anyway, this year I'm doing a lot more with sewing, which is cool, because it's quite profitable. Anyway, while this goes, I'm going to scratch my ear. Yes, I'm telling you exactly what I'm doing, because I'm silly. I feel like Dratnos sit here with a can of Dr. Pepper, except you can't buy Dr. Pepper in Australia. Yeah, I know, we got a suckish existence. It's not that bad. I drink Coke, but I can't be bothered going and getting one. And anyway, with any luck, this will start in the next like 3 seconds. I can't hear the timer going off. Anyway, doesn't matter. The timer's stopped, and this is still black screen, but I think it's going to work. Cross my fingers. You know what, I'm just going to let it keep going until it starts. Unless it's not starting because I'm recording. No idea. Depressingly, no idea. That doesn't make sense. You see, my English is very funny. I has good English. Best quote of the day. Oh, actually, quote of the day is from a fanfic I was reading. Can't even remember what it was now. Yeah, Percy Jackson fanfics. Great things, those. Come on. Well, I'm going to have to clip the recording there. Anyway, guys, I'll upload my successes in the next video. See ya.